In this video, we'll be drawing a really cute spider for my next coloring book called Wild and Witchy. So let's get started. So I've already selected my blue. If you've been following me for any length of time, then you know that I always start with blue to create my first draft. I don't just make images up out of my mind. I'm not that creative. So I go to Pexels or one of the free image sites that offers no attribution for photos, just to use references. Make sure you're not stealing photos from other people. So I want to create a little jumping spider. So he's gonna have his little paw, his little hairy paws will be right here. And then we're gonna do his little claws, or his little feet, like this. And then you'll see kind of in the background, we'll have some legs. So I have two ways that I can proceed with this image. I can either duplicate this, and I'll show you how I would do that. I would click the adjustments tool, select, and then I would copy and paste, go into that layer, it's already selected, and then I would flip it horizontally and put it over here. But I kind of want the legs to be a little bit different on the other side, so I'm not going to do that. So I will double tap to get rid of that. So I'm just going to have the legs just be, they won't be like significantly different, they're just going to be a little bit different. Like that. And then he'll have his eyes. We're going to make the eyes bigger than they would normally be. So I want this eye to be perfectly round. So I'm going to create my ugly round shape, and if I hold it, it'll snap into place, and if I tap my canvas, it will make a perfect circle. And then I'm going to select it to move it around the canvas. So I want his eyes to be kind of big, like that. And then I'm going to select it again and create copy and paste. And then move it like here. Okay, so his eyes are kind of in the wrong spot, so I'm going to move this one here, and then I will select this one again on the other layer and just move it over like that. And then this kind of spider has all kinds of eyes, so we're going to create another eye right there, and I'll do one right here. I think that's it for eyes. Oh no, he's got more. So he's got some eyes that come up right here. We don't forget about these ones later. He's a big old guy. All right. Oops. So I want to move this whole thing around, so I'm going to pinch my layers together. I'm moving him over a little bit. And eventually I want to create something in the background, probably a web or something. Maybe I'll put some things on the web. Anyway, I haven't 100% decided what that's going to look like yet. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. We're just going to work on our spider. So the next thing I'll do is click my black. So I want to make sure he looks kind of hairy. That. And I could very easily duplicate these little sections that I'm drawing, but I don't want to because I want them to look a little bit different. So I'm switching back to my blue, and I'm gonna go to my top layer because he's got little separations in his little paws. He's a spider, he doesn't have paws. He's really cute though, so he looks like he should have paws. So I just want to add those little separations so that I remember where they are. Kind of like that. Alright. And then I'll go back to my layer and I will switch between my colors. And we're going to give him, so we're going to add a couple of details later where he'll he'll look like he's hairy. So I'm not gonna go too detailed with the like hairy leg situation. I just want it to look like a little bit hairy. I don't know if that makes sense. Sometimes I talk and I don't know if I'm making any sense. I don't really like how that turned out at the end there. Not pointy enough, I don't think. There we go. I'm happy with that. So then I'll do the same thing here. I kind of want the tips of his little, I keep wanting to say paws. Am I the only one who thinks spiders are adorable? I love spiders, they're so cute. When I find a spider in my house, I don't like freak out and kill it. I'm usually like, hi little guy, how are you? I also don't want spiders crawling on me at night, so I will put them outside. But, you know, you get the idea. I'm not like angry. I like spiders as long as they're not on me. Actually, that's not true. I like spiders as long as they are not in my hair or on my face. So if I find a spider on my lap or, you know, my arm or something, I don't freak out. But if it's in my hair or on my face, you better believe I don't want it there. There we go. Always looking cute so far. I'm going to do the eyes on a separate layer. Now I could have done this whole drawing in one go on the first draft, but I don't like doing that because sometimes I'm doing a drawing and I have some ideas and I just want to lay them out and see what they look like. I'm going to duplicate this layer, select it, and move it like that. There we go. And I will do the same thing with this. So I'm going to have a little bit of there's going to be an eye up here. It's kind of a small eye though. It's about the same size as that one. So you know what, I'm going to create another layer and I want to create a circle. It's about the same size. Do that so you can see it better. I'm going to create a circle, let it snap into shape and hold the canvas. And then I'm going to select that and move it down and I'll erase. Sometimes it's easier to make the shape and then move it. I will combine those two layers. Instead of trying to do like a half moon, sometimes it's just easier to make the whole shape. And I'll put that one over there, like that. Alright, so now I'm going to draw the rest of his body. I kind of want that eye like sort of popping, like it's peeking up, you know? That. And then his little hairy body comes down like this. I haven't decided if I want him to have a mouth yet. Let's see what it looks like with a mouth. I'm going to combine all of these layers together. I turned off my back layer. I don't know if I kind of like him without a mouth. And I'm going to fill. So when you're filling colors, you can drag your color over and click continue fill, and then you can just fill in all the little spots that you want to be that color. So now I'm going to create, I'm going to change, I want him to have a glare in his eye. So I changed my color to white. I'm increasing the size of my brush and I'm just going to do a dot. Oops. Oh, I got color drop on, that's why. I'm just going to do a little dot, and I'll make it smaller for these dots. And like that. That one didn't take that. And then I'm going to increase or decrease my size a little and add a second little dot of a glare like that. Oh, isn't he cute? Oh, sorry for the weird laugh. I get excited. Okay, so now I'm going to add some details. I'm going to create a new layer. So I want him to be a little bit hairy. I'm actually going to make a little bit smaller. I want him to be hairy, but I don't want to add too many details. Like, I don't want to flood this with details, but I might do like a couple where his knuckles are, like that. So there's no line for the knuckle, but it kind of implies that there's like a little knuckle there. That makes sense. And then we might have him going like this. I kind of don't want the lines touching the outside line. That's looking kind of cute. And then I'll do the same thing on this side, the knuckles. So we're going to just add a couple of things that show that it's hairy without going too overboard. And he's kind of got like a hairy swirl, if that makes sense. I might actually create a new layer for this, then I can duplicate it. I'm not really loving the way that's turning out. Duplicate, select, and then I'm going to flip it horizontally like that. And then I'll just fill this in with some hair just coming down. Sometimes you can, if you want to make things look different, you can still duplicate. So I duplicated them, but because I made the middle a little bit different, it doesn't look, and I'll just, oops. I'm just going to create a new layer because I don't know which layer I'm on here. Add some little hairs. And maybe I'll just do a little, no, I don't think I want him to have a mouth. Oh boy, he's cute. Okay. So I think I'll just do a spider web in the background and maybe he'll have some stuff on his web. So I'll create a new layer for the web. I want to make it like pretty big. And I don't want it to be like I don't want it to be like a perfect web because spider webs are never perfect. I don't even know if jumping spiders have webs, but I feel like if it's a spider, it should have a web, so. Let's see, maybe we'll go like this. I'm on a new layer, right? Okay. If I'm on a new layer, then I can just draw over whatever it is that I'm on, like this. And then I'll create a center. And then I'm just going to hold, actually I'm going to create a new layer here. Hold that down. Actually, I think I'll do just one side and then I can duplicate it. The nice thing about spider webs is that they aren't perfect, so you can make them basically however you want. All right, I'm going to duplicate that, select it, flip it, and go like this. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so that it fits like that. And then I will erase my edges like this. That one doesn't quite go to the edge, but that's okay. We will fix it in a moment. And I'm going to erase that little area. Oops, went too far. Like this. And then I'll go to the other side and just erase any lines that are obstructing the view of my little spider. And oh, that one there. And then I'll go to my web and I'm going to erase my web that's obstructing my view. I've got a little spot right here that I'm going to combine all these layers here now. I can just knock that puppy out. And then I'll finish this up over here. That. Oop. Oh my goodness. There we go. I keep accidentally getting it on the edge. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to connect my web, but I want to use a smaller brush and line thickness. So in order to make this easier on myself, I'm going to lift my brush every once in a while, because if I don't, so if I do this all the way around and then I make a mistake, then I have to undo the whole thing or I have to try to erase. But if I do it in little pieces, then I can just undo one at a time. Actually, I am going to do that because it kind of changes up here. It should go droopy on the bottom because of gravity, right? See how I made a mistake there? If I was doing the whole thing, I would have to erase everything. See now, and also it kind of switches to being sort of droopy down here. Like that. And then I'm going to see if I can duplicate this layer and bring it in. I might be able to. Might just save me a little bit of time. It might make more work for me. Let's see. I'll just erase that one and that one because they don't really touch. You kind of don't want them all to be perfect either. So, for instance, you might want them to be, I'm gonna kind of combine some of these layers here because I've got a lot going on. You might want, you know, you want it to be kind of wonky, like you don't want a spider web to be perfect. This is a little bit tedious, but sometimes you draw things that are tedious, and that's okay. All right, so I want to draw a couple like little like kind of wonky spots just to give it a more interesting feel. I don't want it to be like every other coloring book that just looks like this is hand drawn, right? So you want it to look kind of different. It's coming together. I'm starting to like it. And this coloring book's going to be called Wild and Witchy, so I'll probably add something to it that makes it look kind of witchy. All right, so then I'm going to make the center area nicer. Still not going to be perfect, but kind of like that. I'll do a couple of rows of like really nice web. Might make that a little bit bigger. Like that. See how it's kind of looking like an actual web? And then I think I'll do a little bit around the sides here. So maybe I'll try to think of something I can put that he's kind of hoarding in this web that would be related to witchiness. Because he's wild and witchy. That's the name of the book. Okay, I'm actually really liking this web. I like that it's not perfect. Okay. That's looking pretty cute. So I think I'm going to combine all the web layers together. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I want to add something that he's kind of like, I want him to like be standing on something, I guess. Sometimes I do this when I have somebody in a coloring page that's like standing on something. I just add a couple of lines. Yeah, that's kind of cute. Okay. Do we want him to have something? I think I'm gonna just leave him. I don't think he needs anything in his web. So I'm gonna call this done. And don't forget to check all the links below for all of my favorite tools and resources. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.